Hey everybody, welcome back to Wicked New England. We're going to be doing a little bit of an After the Carnage report on the Hockomock Swamp Part 2 video that at this point will have already been released. At this point will not have been released yet.
He got caught in a lie.
Joining me here today we have...
Andrew. I'm Andrew.
I'm Anthony.
So, just as a warning, Adam was not able to make it today, but he is here in spirit. So,
Did you bring his ashes?
don't worry about it. So he was there for the investigation, and at some point we will have to get you his thoughts as well. To start off, I'm just going to read some of my notes that I wrote on site. So we're going to start with the bridge trail. So some things that we had seen is EMF on REM pod with semi-smart responses. The K2 meter that was roughly 1.5 meters away, or 4.5 feet away from the REM pod, did not go off. However, could just be because of the direction it was facing. It could have been from whatever. However, we saw the REM pod going off. Footsteps on the trail around the bridge without seeing animals or people. Could still have been animals. These are what I have in my notes. I had actually felt a touch on my right lower side right here. That was funny because as soon as I felt it, I spun around and was like, "You touching me, bro?" to Anthony. And he was like, no.
At the meantime, you gotta remember, John, whenever we do these hikes and we're kind of like single file down this narrow path of bushes, thorns, and right, whoever is in the lead keeps taking off like 6 to 10 paces ahead of everybody else.
Well, he's also really tall,
And-
so he's got long legs, so he walks faster.
So
than the
he
rest of us.
whipped around, looked at me, and I'm like, how the hell am I gonna do that? I'm not Stretch Armstrong, and I was legit like 4 bodies away from you.
He was like
So-
a solid, say, 5 feet away, 4
Easy.
or 5 feet. So to be fair, it wasn't him. And if it was, we would have caught her on camera. You know, I know I had my camera pointed towards the front, and whoever was in the back had a camera as well. I think that was you,
That was
Andrew, right? So that was kind of weird. I mean, could have been anything. I
Also,
guess.
folks, to mention too, the bridge in question on that bridge trail is actually the Skim Milk Bridge.
Yes.
So anybody who's familiar with the Bridgewater Triangle or the Hockomock Swamp will know that's actually a pretty famous location in there as well. So that's the bridge in question.
Yep. And then this one, actually, Andrew had requested me to write down a large, unnatural gust of wind. I said unnatural because I did write it in quotes.
Yeah.
Gust of wind was loose on the way out of the first entrance towards the bridge. So as we were walking back towards the bridge, when we went off an offshoot trail, that's when that started going off.
Yeah, we virtually came off from like a gully from where this trail had put us onto like the main trail, and just as we got to the top, it was almost hurricane force.
It
We
was
had
weird.
some very strong
It was
gusts.
just weird because it was focused in one spot, and then we moved on from that, and then it was gone.
Yeah, legit,
You know,
like 5, 6.
If a wind is going to kick up like that, you're going to feel it in the whole of the woods, not just one small section. So that was what was kind of weird.
And we didn't experience anything like that before or after that.
Yeah.
To be fair, me personally, you guys know I'm a little bit more skeptical. However, whatever we experience, we're going to write down and we're going to talk about because that's what we do here. Wicked New England. Woo! Last note on the bridge trail, Anthony had felt someone brush their fingers through the hair on the back of his head.
And at this point in time, I was in the lead.
Yep.
And again, I turned around real quick. I think John was behind me, and he was walking up, looking at me like, "What's wrong?" I'm like, "That couldn't have been you." And he was like, "What are you talking about?" And I was like, I legit felt like somebody virtually just like ran their fingers through the back of my head. And it was a very distinct feeling. Everybody knows when you're scratching the back of your head or just like running your hands through your hair, you know what that feels like, and that's freaky, especially when you know nobody is behind you.
To be fair, we thought he was probably hallucinating. I mean, he hadn't had a Dunkin' Donuts coffee yet, so there was a chance he was just having withdrawal symptoms.
That is true. It was before the Dunkin' run.
The Dunkin' run was
as
after.
we do. We're New England boys. We got to get our
Yeah.
donkeys in, you know.
Another fun thing about that night, actually. So we actually have an ongoing game of tag going on right now. Fortunately, Adam is it. He's not here right now. So he's carrying that, but the game continues. But we were also having that going. We were running around this Dunkin' Donuts and playing the tag there as well. But
yeah, I mean, we weren't disruptive, but at one point, you know, Andrew may or may not have run outside to not get tagged. And so I said, hey guys, tag me. And then ran outside and tagged him. It was a fun time.
well, I was trying to shoot video, of course, because
Of course. Well, I let you shoot the video, and then I was like, you're done?
Yeah.
It's uploaded? Okay, cool.
And
Tag
thank
it.
you as well, everybody, because we got about 3,000 views in
That
one
was
night.
wild.
Yes, thank you
Off of
very,
our
very
YouTube
much.
shorts that we were shooting that night out at Hockomock Swamp. So that was cool. So after we left the bridge trail here and went to Duncan and acted like asses, if you will, then we decided to take another trail, which isn't really an official one per se. We did a little light trespassing and walked.
Well, it doesn't count. We didn't trespass anywhere.
Wink.
There was no signs that we saw.
Right, we didn't see any signs that said trespassing, do not go under these high tension lines.
Well,
Definitely didn't say power property at all.
Nope. I didn't see any.
I didn't see any signs like that either. So.
Not until we came out.
I didn't see any when I came out.
I didn't see any.
But anyway,
I actually have only one note from that trail as well as the last trail. Coyotes both times.
yep.
But before the Coyotes, I think it's important to note, and I'll just freely admit this, I don't even care. I got the shit scared out of me by some fucking birds.
Oh my god, that was the funniest thing.
So we're walking through, and all you hear is this like, I'm like, what the fuck is that? Like, there's these cattails that are like 6 feet tall. They're taller than me. And I'm just like, I can't see nothing. It's just like a
And
thicket.
every time they'd go off, if y'all watching him, he jumps.
Oh, yeah.
He's scat. He's
Every
like
time.
freaking out.
You'll
every
see
time.
it on the camera too, because I'm not shy about showing it. And
So funny.
it turns out there's just a bunch of sleeping birds, I guess, hanging out in there. And as we proceeded down the trail,
We kept waking
they
him
kept waking up and flying out.
Yeah, that was.
It was
I was
wild though,
cracking
because I
up.
was not expecting that.
It was definitely a fun time though. I know, like, we might have gotten made fun of for not having proper, I guess, etiquette or procedure when you are surrounded by coyotes. But, you know, live and learn. So, there's that. Also, we didn't want to wake up any neighbors.
Next
Like,
time we're
nice.
pressing on. Next time I'm bringing bear spray.
I want a can of Raid,
That'll work too.
you know?
Mm.
Like wasp killer.
Bear spray, like, it sticks. It's not like water based, so it doesn't run.
Ooh, that's a good point.
Mace runs, whereas bear spray like sticks in the eyes. Like it's not gonna run. It's almost like a paste. So you hit them. That's it. They're blind, at least temporarily. Enough for you to get the hell out of town.
Yeah, so,
But to be honest, though, learning what we learned since then, you know, we were told with coyotes, if you just make a lot of noise, that they tend to go away. So you know, maybe next time stop creeping
Well,
so
I
much and
think
more deliberately walk.
one of the reasons why I think we kind of got spooked that first time that night getting them kicked out
Well, that was the howl.
was you could hear a howl not too far away.
Multiple.
But once that howl dissipated, you heard the other howls. And you can actually tell and judge the distance. And my first thought was, all right, the one closest is calling, hey, everybody, lunch has come get it. And they were all responding like, yeah, on our way, you know. That's kind of how I took it.
And you'll hear that on the video as well. The howling came through brightly. So
now to be fair, I think it was interesting that as soon as we decided to switch trails and we went to the
random dog track behind.
Mhm.
track trail.
So there's like a railroad trail that basically butts up again that goes up to Hockomock Swamp. So it's kind of
Basically, it would
it would have met up with
it
the
would have
trail
met up
we took.
to where we were trying to get